After having just left the theater, having gone to see Zach Cregger's new mystery horror film, Weapons, I have to say first, this movie was not at all what I was expecting when I bought the ticket. I found the vehicle by which the story is being told to be wholly unreliable, which begs the question, why tell the story that way in the first place? The narrator of the film, played by Scarlett Cher, who is the person listed on IMDb, is both unseen and unknown throughout the story, and furthermore, it turns out, has absolutely nothing to do with the story itself, which made me leave the theater completely scratching my head. The film utilizes a sort of Rashomon structure as we're basically being told the story of the children's disappearance and the investigation that follows through the eyes of several characters directly involved in the event. Now, I did think that the way the story unfolded was fairly well crafted by Craigers, and I do think that most people will be kept out of the loop just long enough to enjoy this particular aspect of the film. I thought the acting was fairly good, even by Carrie Christopher, who plays Alex. I found the character work here to be particularly strong, with the small writing being useful in both teaching us about the characters in ways that felt natural and moving the story along. I found the direction to be interesting as well, and I thought it was an asset to the visual style of the movie overall. But narratively, there was just too much missing for my liking, too many stones left unturned. I always tell you guys that as a writer throughout the story, you are posing questions to the audience, and because of that fact, you owe them answers by the film's end, especially in a film like this, wherein the rules of the story are not of this world. And for a film that leaves quite a bit unanswered, it's entirely too long. And the tone of the film begins to shift as the story goes from a film that I'll admit is truly unnerving at the start to a little bit of a clown show by the end, especially as it pertains to the film's villain, a person who we never really get the opportunity to try to understand. And even her aesthetic, I felt, was a missed opportunity to make this film truly terrifying. And on top of that, we really don't know why what happened needed to happen to begin with, which is absolutely a screenwriting no-no, because I always tell you guys that it's the why that ultimately decides whether you have a good movie or not. And here, the why is just way too vague. Now, overall, I give the film a 55% or a 5.5 if you're thinking IMDb score. Look, most of the ingredients were there in this one. There was just too much of some and not enough of others that ultimately doomed this movie. Even the title of this film prepares you for something that never quite shows up, and though some critics claim to love the title of the film, I didn't think it was all that clever. I've also seen some calling this movie the scariest of the year, and I don't think it will be that either, because The Conjuring Last Rites will be here in a few weeks, and judging by the trailer, I might need somebody to go with me to see that one. Anyway, I can't quite say I'd recommend this film unless you're one of those people who are simply thirsty for a horror movie right now and can't wait a few weeks for something a bit more proven in The Conjuring. But in the event that you're not a 10 trips to the movie a year kind of person, I tell you to maybe sit this one out.